Fed Chairman Ben Bernanke grilled on Capitol Hill today and offered a stern warning for lawmakers. Take action quickly or risk taking the nation off the fiscal cliff, which would be devastating to our economic recovery, so-called. Joining us exclusively now is Senate Banking Committee member Pat Toomey. He's Republican from Pennsylvania. Senator, welcome back to the Kudlow Report. As always, sir, before I get to today's Bernanke hearing, can I just briefly get your reaction to President Obama's recent insult of business people, successful people, and entrepreneurs saying they can't do it alone without government? It's a hot topic. Romney gave a rip-roaring speech today, finally attacking Mr. Obama. What's your take on the Obama topic?
I was shocked, and maybe I shouldn't be this far into President Obama's administration, but still, for him to be so disparaging and so dismissive of the work and the risk and the effort and the creativity and everything it takes when an entrepreneur launches a business, and to suggest that somehow, because there's an infrastructure in this country, that entrepreneurial effort should be denigrated and minimized, I think is just outrageous and totally inconsistent with what's made this country the great society that it is. So I'm just amazed.
Do you think that was a kind of subliminal, I hesitate, but almost unconscious letting loose of President Obama's real philosophical, instinctive feelings?
You know, I don't want to get too far into the psychology of this, Larry, but in the clips that I saw, it certainly looked like he was speaking off the cuff, not off a teleprompter. And so it was really a reminder to me of his famous line in the last campaign to Joe the Plumber when he said, you know, he really wants to spread the wealth around a little bit. And so I do think it was a glimpse into the way that he really thinks, and it's a disturbing one.
All right, let me go into the hearing. You're in the Bernanke hearing today. In brief, Bernanke basically says to Congress, you've got to do something about the fiscal cliff. I know, Senator, you've been very involved in tax policy and tax reform. Yesterday, Washington State Senator Patty Murray gave a speech at the Brookings Institute. I'm sure you know all about it.
Right.
She said, if the Republicans won't agree to raising taxes on the rich people, then we are not going to have any extension of the tax cuts at all. They will expire December 31st and will go into 2013. Your quick take on Patty Murray.
Really just breathtaking. Again, Larry, what Patty Murray knows, that if we have this massive tax increase, including on people that she claims not to want to raise taxes, but she's saying she's willing to raise taxes big time on everyone, on everything, and knowing that that is almost certainly would trigger a serious recession. CBO has predicted very dire consequences if that happens, and yet she said she's willing to do that, inflict that on our economy if we won't punish wealthy people. Very, very disturbing that they are willing to hold the American economy hostage this way.
Senator Toomey, last one on Ben Bernanke. Do you think his message today essentially was to say, don't expect me to start pumping more money into the economy. You, Congress, are the problem. You've got to solve your fiscal cliff on taxes and spending, too. I don't agree with him on spending. But wasn't that really what he was saying? It's kind of a Russian roulette. I'm not going to do it for you. You have to do it.
I wish he would go further in that direction, Larry. I think our problems are not monetary in nature. Our problems are massive overregulation, unsustainable spending, and a threat of a huge tax increase. That's why our economy is weak, and he's been fighting it by flooding the economy with easy money. I don't think that's the right mix. I wish he would be more definitive about the fact that he's done with trying to just flood the economy with money, and we need to get our fiscal house in order and have some pro-growth tax policy.
And one more, Senator, we have a little bit of time. I believe that Mr. Bernanke said it to you, that he can't deal with the Libor manipulation problem because it's run by the British Bankers Association. Was that an acceptable answer to you?
It was not acceptable to me, Larry. What Chairman Bernanke acknowledged today was that he, and he's not alone, Secretary Geithner and the entire senior regulators in America, they have known for nearly 5 years that the Libor setting that routinely occurs and that affects so many financial transactions lacks integrity. How they could know this for years and not disclose this generally and not really insist that the financial institutions find a mechanism which would be readily available that would not have this integrity problem, I don't understand how they could tolerate it.
Instead of a memo, they should have made a big stink. We've seen them make a big stink on other things. Instead of a little memo, bureaucratic, make a big stink.
Absolutely, and ask the financial institutions and all the participants, why won't you rely on a reset mechanism for variable rates that has integrity? It could easily be done. Instead, they have remained virtually silent all this time.
All right, Senator Pat Toomey of Pennsylvania, thank you, sir. We appreciate your time very, very much.
Thanks for having me, Larry.
All right.